our porch. I think I've showed y'all pictures before, but we're gonna kind of start in the middle, in the corner. This is the corner that I have used to garden and plant some things, store some pots, give a little inspiration along the way with my chalkboard that I found at Goodwill. This wreath is from probably 3 Christmases ago, and it weathered so well that I thought we would just hang it out here. So these hooks were made by my wonderful Mr. Patient, and these porcelain tubs with handles I found at, well, various places. And so this little Dewey on the wall holds various things like a shovel and scissors, things I might need out here, and some natural bug repellent. But I found that little thing at Goodwill, so Mr. Patient hung that for me. All right, and then I was hoping to have some fresh flowers out here for y'all when I showed you this, but I don't. I've got this backboard to a baby bed, and I actually got it out of the dump. And I brought it home and painted chalkboard paint and wrote Whippoorwill Fields Farm, be welcome. And that's what we call this little farm, Whippoorwill Fields. This bell that we've had at all of our houses. And then I found this cabinet on eBay, and I drove to Kentucky to pick it up, and it just serves as a utility cabinet. And then our screen door that Mr. Patient made, and our door knocker that our son Owen made. He's a blacksmith. And so there you go. This is where we feed the dog over here on this side of the porch. And that is this side of the porch. I will say that you see the white columns here. These came with the house. These are just the ones that you get at Lowe's or whatever. But this one over here rotted. So our son Morgan actually took a whole piece of I don't know if that was a treated piece. I guess it probably was, and he hand hewn that column for the house. So I kind of like that. Homemade, home hewn with his ancestors' primitive tools. Okay, we're gonna go around the corner and we're just gonna show you the rest of the porch. This is end of winter, first of spring. So normally I have hanging plants out here. I have 10 ferns hanging out here on the front. And there's Mr. Patient and Homerline. Okay, we love our porch. And he's about to take down our garland, grapevine garland. I put that up on the occasion of our second son's high school graduation that was here on the porch. And that was that'd be 3 years ago this May. And I added lights, and we have enjoyed that for nearly 3 years. The lights, I mean, they've pretty much stayed lit. They're on a timer. Or they were. They're about to come off. All right, can you tell us real quick what we have right here, what that box thing is? And why?
This is made out of recycled lumber from the pool deck. And we were having trouble with the dogs eating the cat food. So we tried to come up with an idea of how we could feed the cat so the dogs wouldn't eat the cat food. So we came up with this, and it's just got leather straps, leathered to it. It's got leather straps attached to it, to the top, and you can just lift it up, and we can put the cat food in there, and only the cat can fit through the hole. The dogs can't get to it, and we put the food in the corner opposite the hole for the cat to go in. So there you go. Just like that. Took us about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And you made both of our screen doors, front and side. Why did you make them? Why didn't you just go buy them?
Well, when we moved in here, it had pre-made doors that were bought from a Lowe's or a Home Depot. And I'm sorry, but they just don't make things with quality anymore. And they were falling apart. And with our kids during the spring, summer, or whenever it's a nice day, they're constantly going in and out of the doors and they're slamming shut. And they basically, the ones we had fell apart. So I told Miss Katie that I'm going to make screen doors that are going to hold up. So I took several Saturdays. It took me a while to do it because it was a pretty big process to do it. I mean, but I enjoy woodworking, so I enjoyed doing this. So basically, I made these doors, and I put 1/4 inch check wire, welded wire on the bottoms, so that the dogs couldn't push through, the kids couldn't push through the screen, just to give it a little more strength to the screen. And then the top part is just the screen. But for those of you who do woodwork or are familiar with woodwork, when I made these, I did a mortise and tension joint on all the pieces that fit together, and then I wood pegged them together and glued them so that they wouldn't come apart. So yeah, there you go. So I built those after we had been here. I built those within the first 1.5 years that we moved here, and we've been here almost 6-7 years, and they're still good. The only problem I have is on one of the doors. Homerline here has figured out how to put hook her paw in the screen and open the door and walk in if we just have the screen door open. And so one of the things I've got to do in order to get the house ready to sell is I have to replace the screens on there, because somebody, who would that be, has torn the screen and the wire mesh trying to get in. So I have to do some repair work there. But they've held up real well. Hadn't fallen apart, so that's a good thing.
All right, I love the screen doors. Love them.
And they squeak.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
you got to have a squeaky screen door slamming on your country home, right? I mean, you just do.
That's what country is all about. Is a squeaking screen door and a slamming screen door.
Squeaking and slamming.
That's right.
One thing I like to do is I write scripture on my walls of my home. I always have, or painted, or chalk or something. And I wrote this on the porch when I read it in a book. I really liked this. It says, "Only to sit and think of God, oh, what a joy it is. To think the thought, to breathe the name, earth has no higher bliss." And that quote is attributed to F.W. Faber, or Faber. And I'm sorry, I can't get this lighting right for y'all to see it. There we go. All right, just finishing off. Remember, this is the end of winter, first of spring, so we don't have our chair pads out here, but normally we do. And we have really lived on this porch and enjoyed it. We always enjoy a porch. And, this porch actually inspired me. The Lord used this porch, in my opinion, to inspire me to start the little community that I have begun in His name on Instagram, called the Front Porch Church. And it's a wonderful group of ladies who just share the love of the Lord there. But this is where that was inspired. Now over here you just see things that we've just kind of thrown over here, and we'll be cleaning up some buckets of mulch and our tub of chair pads and so forth. So we'll be cleaning that up. So this is the tour of our porch. It's a 3/4 wraparound porch. Pretty much everything we have, or well, not everything, but a lot, has a story and is just a special item to us. This rocking chair here, I bought at Cracker Barrel, and I also bought that rocking chair down there. Given to us were 2 gift cards when Mr. Patient's dear grandfather passed and my mother passed. Friends of ours gave us gift cards to use, or money, and we chose to buy rocking chairs with that money and those gifts because we felt like that's something we could always use on our porches. We hope to always have a porch, except for maybe in the RV. And I just wanted to point out that those were two items that are special to us because we used that money. And so now we can think of our friends who gave us the gift, monetary gift, and our loved ones who've gone before while we sit out here and fellowship on the porch. What are the first things you think of with porch memories at this house?
Well, first thing I think of is our family spending time on the porch because we love our porch. When the weather cooperates with us from a standpoint of heat and humidity, we love being on our porch. We're country in that we're front porch sitters and enjoy our porch. So the first thing that comes to my mind is, all the times we've had out here and the conversation we've had out here and the meals we've had out here. I mean, I can't count on my hands the number of times that we'd bring a small lamp out here and plug it up, and we'd have our meals out here. Two of our sons graduated from this porch. When our kids graduate from homeschool, we have a graduation ceremony, and each one of them has to write a paper about the things that they learned over the years through our homeschool. Not just about the book learning, but the life learning that they experienced. So our first son graduated from the homestead we lived at before this one, and two of our sons graduated from this one. So I think about that. But then I can't help but think of how many times our porch has been full of friends. I remember one distinctly that stands out in my mind. We had a bunch of friends over and had a meal together. And before we had the meal together, one of the men that were here kind of disappeared. Where everybody at the time was in the house, and he disappeared. And then after a little while, he showed back up, and he had fallen asleep on our porch swing over here. So and later that night, it was a 4th of July party. That's what it was. It was a 4th of July party, and a lot of our friends ended up staying, and we sat out here on the porch telling story till 3 o'clock in the morning, and that was a beautiful time. We really enjoyed that. We had a couple of our friends, one who has passed, and is with our Maker now, and he had a lot of health problems, but he's dancing now. And they fell asleep around midnight in our den while the kids were watching movies, and it was kind of funny because we'd go in and check on the kids every now and then, and one by one they were falling asleep. So but yeah, that's the memories I have of our porch is the conversations, the family times, the friend times that we've had here.
The boys playing instruments.
Yeah.
When it is seasonable and warm. See, we don't have television, so we would come out, and there for a while, was it a year or so ago, we would come out here. That was just what we did. There was no question. We just finished up our supper, and we just came out here and sat, and our son Morgan and our son Owen, they would bring their violin and their mandolin, and then just come play. And I'll tell you, we live, it's not really a neighborhood, I guess country neighborhood, I don't know what you call it, but there's, it's country, but we have neighbors. And so one of our neighbors who lives over there past the trees, but I made a comment one time to him, and I said, I hope we don't bother you with the noise. And he said, I love having my windows open when it's nice, and I open my windows every night, and I just go out on my porch and I listen to your laughter and the kids playing their instruments. So that just blesses my heart.
Well, and one thing we like about a porch is, in the house we lived in before, it had a porch, but it didn't have a roof over it necessarily. So when it rained, we couldn't enjoy it. But this one has got an 8-foot ceiling, but the porch is deep. The porch is 8 feet deep. So it affords us the opportunity that if it's just a nice gentle rain, we can set out here. I know Miss Katie and myself, we've actually, on Friday nights we do family movie and pizza night. But every now and then the littles will watch a movie, and Miss Katie and myself will watch a movie, and a lot of times we've moved our movie nights out here on the porch and watch the movies out here on the porch, even if it's just a gentle rain. So when we do settle on a homestead, we will definitely have a porch like this. So this is, like I said, this is 8 foot. I might even would like to extend our sitting porch to 10 feet just to give us a little extra room, so if it is raining, we can enjoy it then as well.
So just an encouragement to our friends. They might not be in a position where they can have a porch yet, but would you agree that a porch can really, really provide heritage memories?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Heritage memories.
Because I know our big boys, especially our 22-year-old and our 19-year-old that has lived here with us. I mean, I know that's something that they'll take with them.
Absolutely.
I know we'll take it with us. So sure.
As well as we're taking those porch swings with us too.
I mean, and we've had hard conversations here too.
Oh yes.
You know, family situations and hard conversations. We've had those here too. You know, it's not just about the good times. I mean, it's about life.
Yes.
And there's been hard conversations here too. Sorry.
It's okay. We're sharing life. But you're right. Yeah, there have been tears shed and laughter enjoyed. And all right. Well, thanks for helping me give them a tour of the porch. And you're about to take down part of what makes our porch personalized for us, but
the lights put off a romantic glow.
well, yeah.
It's just not so, because it's got can lights as the porch lights, and those are just too bright. So the lights that Miss Katie put up there, we can turn those on, and we can enjoy being out here without the really bright lights, and it gives it just a nice, warm, relaxing glow about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's dismantle and get ready for our next adventure. All right. All right.
So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. And if you like this video or the content you see on our channel, go ahead and subscribe below. You can also hit the bell to get notifications when we put new content out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Have a good day.